Google Ads for a dental practice. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a live dental account and I'm going to show you all the different types of campaigns that we run, the strategy behind them. You're going to see the results that we get. And lastly, make sure you stay through to the end of the video because I'm going to show you a must-have campaign for all dental practices. So let's go do this right now. Welcome to the Teach Traffic YouTube channel. My name's Alana, and in this video, as mentioned, we're going to talk all about Google Ads for dentists. So let's go dive into this account and we're going to cover exactly what I mentioned. So here we are in our live dental Google Ad account. And I've chosen 6 months worth of data. I wanted to make sure I do a long time frame of data so that you can really see that it consistently produces results. So this chart here is clicks versus conversions. And as you can see, month on month, it consistently produces results. I can change this to be weekly, and you'll see there are some weekly fluctuations for each of the campaigns, but overall month on month, it converts very well. So let's scroll down here so you can see each of the different kinds of campaigns I'm running, and I'm going to explain the strategy for each of them. So this first campaign is a consistent winner for us. This client, for this particular campaign, they get 8.5% click-through rate, but here's where the real value is. It converts at 7% at a cost per conversion of about $50. And this is, for 84 leads. Now you might be wondering, why is this not a whole number? That's due to the attribution strategy. That's probably a subject for a different video. So essentially the strategy behind this campaign is what's called a suburb campaign. This is where we bid on the suburb that the dental practice is located in, but also the surrounding suburbs that are, close enough that people would be prepared to travel, but far enough away that they're not actually in that particular suburb. We also have quite wide location targeting for this particular campaign to capture the instance that somebody might not be in that physical location at the time of their searching, but we know that they want a dentist in that suburb because they've literally just typed it in. So we can actually go wider with our location targeting and get more traffic that way because we're filtering people based on what they've typed in, not so much of where they're physically located. Okay, so that strategy is a consistent winner. We make sure we separate each suburb into separate ad groups, pretty much for kind of quality score reasons and various other reasons. But just make sure that the ad that you write doesn't say that you're a dentist in that surrounding suburb. When I first deployed this strategy, I actually, in the headline of my ad, put the suburb that I was bidding on. However, what I found was I got a good click-through rate, but I didn't get a great conversion rate because people were a bit annoyed that I was saying that they were a dentist in a suburb where they actually weren't. They were in the neighboring suburb. Okay, so I have found that since I actually put the actual suburb that they're located in, I get a lower click-through rate, but I get a much better conversion rate, which is really what I want. Okay, so make sure you do that. This next type of campaign is also a suburb campaign, but these are my best performing suburb keywords. And I've put them in their own campaign because I want even wider location targeting for that. But the other main reason for this is I want to make sure that these keywords never run out of budget, and I can do a different bid strategy for these keywords than my other suburb campaign. And as you can see here, it gets a similar click-through rate. This time 7.5% on average, but it gets me a 20% or almost a 20% conversion rate. So these are my real money keywords. I want to make sure I never run out of budget. I'm getting the maximum amount of impressions for it. And it gets a similar cost per lead, and that's because the cost per click is much higher because I'm bidding much higher to be in the top ad position, but that's how I get the 20% conversion rate. Okay, so also really good. This particular campaign is also a suburb campaign, but it bids on different keywords related to suburbs. It's a bit hard to explain without going into it, but unfortunately I can't delve that level of information. But once again, it gets a similar click-through rate. It gets a lower conversion rate of only 5.6%, but still well below our target cost per acquisition at coming in at $70. Okay, this next type of campaign I believe all dental practices should deploy, which is an emergency campaign. Obviously, if you can imagine somebody, one of the potential patient has broken their tooth, they need an emergency dentist today or right now. And so we bid on emergency type keywords. Now we put this in a separate campaign because we often want to start these ads out of office hours because it's an emergency dental stuff. It doesn't really fall during the normal operating hours. So we put it in its own campaign with its own budget so that we can delay the start time of day for those ads. Once again, a similar click-through rate and about a 7% conversion rate consistently. So I'm a big fan of emergency campaigns. For the location targeting for this, I do have very narrow location targeting because I do find people aren't really prepared to travel large distances. So just make sure you're really tight with your keywords and tight with your location targeting. This is a different type of emergency campaign where we were testing different kinds of keywords, emergency related, once again, similar location targeting and similar kind of conversion rates. So we could potentially combine those two, but we kind of didn't want to share the budget amongst testing new keywords, which is why we put it in a separate campaign. This next campaign is actually not a great performer, but we were testing bidding on keywords to do with teeth whitening, and it gets a good click-through rate, but really not actually a great conversion rate at only 2%. So what I might do to look to improve this would be look to improve the landing page, considering people are clicking on the ads. I mean, I've got 417 clicks, yes, over a 6-month period, but really, obviously the offer or whatever is on the landing page needs to be tightened up considerably. Perhaps maybe a better headline, maybe a video, really selling the services of this teeth whitening, or really some kind of conversion elements on this landing page to really try and improve the conversion rate. I'd also look at the search terms to see, am I actually showing up for the right kinds of keywords? I would imagine I am, because we monitor that closely. So I think it's more of a landing page issue than a traffic issue. This campaign bids on the certain types of dental services. Think, root canal, think dental implants, all that kind of stuff. So really high ticket stuff. So a patient is worth a lot to this particular dental practice for these types of services, which is why we've put it in its own campaign so we can monitor the cost per lead. And, even a cost per lead coming in at $157 here is more than profitable because they sell, that $10,000 kind of services. So that is also something we apply tight location targeting to as well. And then obviously people who are looking for those services. And lastly, this is really a must-have campaign for all dental practices, is a near me type keyword. More and more as people are using their mobile devices, they're typing in dentist near me. But one thing I would mention with this, you need to have really, really tight location targeting with a near me campaign because people are really looking for a dentist near them. So if you're too far, they probably will click on it because they want to see where you're located, but they might not likely convert if you're too far from them. So I have found the best results is to be really close, and then it can actually work quite well. This particular one doesn't actually have a great conversion rate, so we probably need to tighten up the negative keywords there or look to really identify why it's not working. I would imagine it's probably a bidding issue as well, but that's probably a topic for another video. If you like what you hear in this video, you should definitely check out my website, teachtraffic.com, where I teach all these types of strategies and more, and I help people one-on-one with their campaigns as well. So check out teachtraffic.com, and if you like this video, hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.